Shocking! 15 crucial life lessons you won't learn in school. Have you ever wondered which life skills you'll need but won't learn in school? Well, in this video, we'll share with you 15 things that you won't learn in school but should know. What school doesn't teach you is that you need to educate yourself on these topics in your free time. You have the duty to stay ahead of the curve and learn these life skills. It's likely that you'll only remember what you studied in school if you don't put in the effort to learn other essential skills. Now let's start with this list. 15. Investing. Every person on earth should try to grasp the concept of money. I mean, to start, you should at least have some familiarity with saving, credit, budgeting, as well as banking operations and investments. It might seem like a lot to handle, but learning the basics of these principles is a great starting point for beginners. If you're wondering where you can get such information, this channel is a good starting point. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. There are many free resources available online, especially from Google and YouTube, which have opened up many possibilities for you to do quick research. Search each of these topics separately and read everything you can. Just make sure not to fall for any get-rich-quick videos. They are almost all scams. If you choose to venture into investments, make sure you've accumulated enough funds before investing. This is where savings come into play. As much as we might want to experience the thrill of flying at 100 feet, the pleasure of sipping red wine in a vineyard, or the experience of scuba diving with corals and marine animals, it will all remain a fantasy unless you master the art of investing. You will need money to do any of these activities, which is not easy to come by in life. Your money will always have to go somewhere, like food, clothes, bills, and maybe even visits to your parents. Before you know it, you'll realize that not much is left. So it's very important to learn to invest. Relationships. School doesn't teach you how to establish healthy relationships, which is one of the most important things you can learn. Nice words were essential to sustain a love relationship, but actions, on the other hand, like communicating in real life, were not taught. How to properly take care of our relationships, how to handle a disagreement, or even how to trust each other, the list could go on forever. It's never a good idea to ignore relationship advice. Even in modern relationships, where both spouses do everything to contribute to the relationship, it's more likely that the relationship will be healthy if you examine the individual, paying attention to their activities and noticing how they influence you. So not only should you be careful with your words but also with your actions and gestures. Ask yourself this: would you rather invest a few hours of your life researching relationship advice to have a lasting relationship, or risk a harmful, unhealthy, and ruined relationship by not doing any research? The choice is yours. How to manage emotions. Think about it. But our emotions are extremely volatile, especially when teenagers go through puberty and think the whole world is against them. Yet all of this could have been managed if you had been guided in school. Imagine if you had learned to control your emotions, or at least learned to manage them. With a few simple tricks, you could live your whole life with a fresh and relaxed mind. Being self-aware is the first step, understanding what you're feeling and why, then accepting those emotions and determining how to manage them. Although school won't teach you much about this, one of the simplest ways to calm yourself is to write or type your thoughts. This will control any unwanted outbursts. Taxes. People often say how important it is to learn about taxes, but we never had the opportunity in school. It's quite shocking considering how taxes work in the real world. These taxes are imposed by the government to help improve public infrastructure like roads, education, technology, healthcare programs, and other important services. Some important areas to consider include understanding the various tax rates and knowing how to pay taxes. No one is ever taught when to pay taxes or how much deduction to expect once you start earning a living, making all the information vague. How much money should you really set aside for taxes when you start your business or find a job? Learning these basic concepts will help you understand the notion of taxes and, of course, keep you out of trouble with the government. Real estate, whether you do it for profit or not, real estate is one of the most crucial topics that school doesn't teach you. Obviously, you want to buy property in the future, and knowing how it works is essential to doing it correctly at this point in your life. Would you know what to do if someone gave you $1 million and told you to go buy a house? There are some fundamental things you might want to consider. The housing costs in the specific neighborhood of interest, understanding how mortgages work and how you could get one. It's also safer to understand the fine print in any agreement to avoid future surprises. Learning all the nuances on your own will save you money. Real estate is a fantastic method to develop wealth, so reviewing these issues now could save you a lot of work later. Negotiation skills. People negotiate throughout their lives, even when they are children. Think about how you would approach your parents to ask if your friend could stay over or stay a little longer. As we grow up, it seems that many of our negotiation skills start to deteriorate. If only they taught us this in school, perhaps we would be able to close the best deal on the market. There are a lot of things you could get to your advantage: cars, houses, salaries, garages, phone bills, and so on. All you need is to perfect your interrogation and persuasion techniques. To learn more about negotiation in general, I recommend watching Chris Voss in action. He is a professional FBI and corporate negotiator. Perhaps you could learn a thing or two. How to make a resume. Isn't it ironic that schools teach you that you need to apply for a job after graduation but don't tell you how to develop the first thing companies want to see? Sure, you might have learned some basic resume tips in school, but do you also know how to build one correctly? Fortunately, there are many free templates available online that can help you if you're not looking for shortcuts. You can use free online sources to learn how to improve the sound of your resume. A quick tip is to always make sure it never exceeds the length of one page. People want messages that are brief, concise, and to the point. Entrepreneurship school prepares you for college, which prepares you for employment. Even economics courses are designed to help you work in or for a company. What school doesn't teach you is how to start your own business and what you'll need to get started. Many freelancers will tell you for sure that the knowledge they have was self-taught. Capitalism will make you monetize your passions, but as long as you're happy, why not? The entrepreneurial journey, however, is not as easy as 1, 2, 3, 4, and every business is different and requires different things. But some elements are quite universal. Some of these things you might need to learn when you embark on entrepreneurship include tracking expenses and understanding the structure of your business. If you want to manage your business one day, it's better to start learning a thing or two. Remember, it's never too early. Computer skills. You might have taken a couple of computer courses, but let's be honest, what did they teach you? Knowing how to use a computer is almost vital in the ever-evolving world of technology and information. Nearly everything requires having basic computer knowledge, understanding office software like PowerPoint, Excel, and Word, then knowing how basic components work or even organizing data. Learning essential computer skills improves job opportunities and facilitates faster productivity. Car maintenance. One of the things school doesn't teach you is how to take care of your car. After all, it's something you'll use for most of your life. To begin with, it might not be the perfect starting point for asking questions, given that there is a specialized driving school that teaches you everything about driving cars. However, it's important to have this knowledge before taking on some responsibilities. Car maintenance includes changing the oil, repairing a flat tire, understanding how the engine works, and so on. While YouTube may contain useful videos, what about visiting a local mechanic for a more in-depth look at the specific model of your car? Social skills. As you may have noticed, many people have difficulty communicating with each other, especially teenagers who are also struggling with some form of anxiety. Having a global pandemic and tons of social media apps doesn't make things any easier, but overall, social skills are very essential. It seems reasonable, doesn't it? It's much easier to communicate via message with close friends than with strangers who don't even know our name. Social skills, on the other hand, are essential for building relationships, becoming a better person, and even acquiring better networks of relationships. Learn to communicate with others politely and anyway to make your voice heard in a group. Understand body language to avoid misunderstandings. Making small talk with strangers helps along the way because you tend to relax a bit. Don't overthink it if you're introverted. Look at it this way. You've already learned the art of not interrupting others, which is a difficult task for most people. Networking is another advantage of social skills. Simply knowing someone, networking opens an infinite number of doors. It might seem strange to a teenager or a young adult. The phrase, "I know a guy," refers to the fact that these people can always give you what you need. They are natural networkers, which is a difficult skill to master. The best place to start with networking, ironically, is school. Your college peers could be your entire universe, no joke. You can't survive in life without networking or maintaining social relationships. Contacts. If you need a job recommendation, a new home, starting a business, and forming a group of social activists, you might need some people to support you. All this implies that you must have solid interpersonal relationships. Talking to people in person is not even usually a requirement of networking. Just make sure to build strong bonds with the people who matter. With a phone, you can do much of this from the comfort of your own home. Time management is one of the most crucial skills that schools don't teach you. School is a major factor in our lack of time management. Knowing how to better organize your life will save you hours of extra effort, procrastination, and general stress for the rest of your life. The best way to manage time better is to set goals focused on both the long and short term, even to ensure you make the most of your days. A daily planner should be at hand. Prioritize the most important things and get tools like a calendar or a planning app to help you keep track and meet deadlines. Practically, better time management skills have led to better grades, productivity, and even mood among students. How to cooking is a skill that can be taught quickly with little effort in research. I mean, you might not always have someone at your beck and call just to satisfy your hunger needs. Besides, wouldn't it be nice to prepare something very quickly if you feel like it at some point? You don't need to attend a cooking school to prepare some basic meals. All you need is to dedicate some time to watch some cooking videos online and practice as often as possible until you're ready to go. There are plenty of popular cooking channels on YouTube, so I'm sure you'll definitely find one that suits your palate. Remember, this is a skill that will prepare you for life. One thing is for certain, school won't help you achieve your goals. It is hoped that these 15 things that school doesn't teach will give you a better understanding of what you should try to learn on your own.